These get stuck. Okay.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Ready? What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's been 2 years, I think, since the last time I did an in the bag, and I definitely owe you guys one. So here we are. We're in Dayton, Ohio. It was like 50 degrees the last couple weeks, and suddenly it's freezing. So here I am in a jacket, bundled up, but we're out here doing it for you. So let's get right into it. With the putters, I've had the same putters for literally 5 years. Not the exact same putters, but the mold, you know what I mean. So these are DX Putt and Approach Aviars. I always have two in my bag just because you never know if you're in a situation where you throw one in the water and you might need another one. So who knows? So DX Putt and Approach Aviars have been my go-to for 5 years. Put those over there. I always have my towel in my hand for those of you guys that watch me throw all the time. My hands are clammy, okay? I have another DX Putt and Approach Aviar, except this is not my putting putter. This is actually for throwing. So this has been super beat in. You can tell it's just super worn. And this is for the approach shots where I just need something to glide to the right. It has the nice turn on it because it's so broken in. So definitely one of my staples. And then I have my two S Line P2s, they're Discmania discs. I've had this one in the bag for a while. You could tell it started out this color, but it's broken a little bit. These are, P2s go pretty straight and fade a little bit left. So this is good for just a dependable upshot. I can just throw it straight, it'll glide very straight, and then this one's a little more stable because it's newer, and so it'll have that nice finish. So that kind of covers all of my short range approaches. So moving on to mid-ranges, we'll start with this stable guy. This is my Champion Gator. So I just use this for anything overstable. It's never gonna turn on me. I can put it on an anhyzer and it's always gonna come back out. I usually use this for my forehand approaches, probably up to about 200 feet. When I just need to kick something, you know, on a spike hyzer, it's always gonna be dependable. And yeah, I don't really throw this for backhand that much, so forehand staple. Next, I have my C Line MD4. So this one's also been in my bag for a long time. You guys will catch a trend. I don't change the discs in my bag that much. So C Line MD4, this is like a glidier gator. So I throw this for backhand way more than I throw forehand. It's just super dependable when I throw it dead straight, and it always will have a fade back. You know, it might catch a little bit of a turn and some headwind, but in that case, I'll just throw it on a hyzer. Still gonna be super reliable to dump back. So C Line MD4. Next is my S Line MD3. So I throw MD3s because they are a very stable mid-range. However, they are more shallow in the hand than most mid-ranges with beads on them. So I really like them. I've tried Makos before and they're just a little too straight than what I want for this spot in my bag. So I throw the MD3s. This is an S line, so it does have a little bit of that fade back to it. And then I have this Glow MD3. This one's my absolute favorite. This one you would think is more stable than the S line that I just showed you, but my boyfriend Bart gave this to me last year and he's never gonna give me another one, so I'm gonna cherish it forever. Hopefully I'll never lose it. This one is super straight, and if I put it on a little bit of anhyzer, it'll carry over to the right, and it might come back a little bit, but it's just super versatile, and because it's more broken into the other one, it's just super easy to manipulate. I'll throw this one in the woods a lot. It's just super easy to throw dead straight. Definitely one of my favorites. So next I have my Star Wombat3. So this one, it's not even marked. I hope I didn't throw it in a tournament recently. This one, I used to throw Wombat3s a lot, and then I got the Glow MD3, which has that flip up on it now. But then I'm realizing that it doesn't flip as much as I want in some scenarios, and sometimes the putter just doesn't cut it when I need that turnover glide. The Wombat3 will turn over and glide, but way farther than the putter would. So it's more of a utility disc. I don't throw this all the time, but I'm trying to work it back in the bag again because it was a super helpful disc for me a couple years ago. And then we're gonna go into Fairway Drivers. So I have a really beat up Star Teebird. This is a 172 and it still flies like it's brand new. It's so stable. I don't know why it won't beat in, even though it looks beat in. It just goes dead straight and comes back left like a typical fairway driver should. If I throw it on a little bit of anhyzer, it will flex a little bit, but it still has that reliable fade. So, all right, next we have my Star Thunderbird. So this one I use for similar purpose as the T-Bird, but this just has a little bit more dump to it. And I actually can throw this one on the forehand to where the T-Bird, I don't have quite the angle on it to be able to throw with the force of the forehand. So Thunderbird is just an extra stable fairway driver. I don't really throw it that often, but just when I need something to go really hard left. And then my favorites. So I have 4 Sidewinders in my bag. They are my absolute favorite and I just keep adding them into my bag. I don't know why. Starting with this orange one, it's my oldest one and it is the most flippy one. I want to say these are all between 167 and 175. This one's actually 175, but it's so beat in that it's super flippy. So I can't throw this flat or it'll turn into a cut roller. It's so understable. I have to throw it on a really big hyzer. If I throw it really hard, it'll just flip up and be a really nice turnover disc. It's really awesome. But it's super touchy, so you have to be careful. Can't throw it in any wind. This one is the next stability that's up from the orange one. It's a little bit lighter, but it's not as beaten. So this one, it will still glide over, but it's not as hard. So if I need to like turn a corner, I'll use the orange one. This one's just more of if I just need something to, hit it to the left of the fairway and then it's gonna glide over to the right. My Dreamcatcher Sidewinder, this is just Star Plastic, Star Sidewinder. I'm pretty sure most of my discs are Star discs. I really like the Star Plastic. So the Dreamcatcher, I think, was a stamp I did 2 years ago. So this has been in my bag for 2 years. And this one honestly isn't super beat in because when I want something to turn, I'll throw the other ones. But this is still a good one to where if I throw it on enough hyzer, it'll just flip up and go dead straight to where the other ones will turn over more. So this is more of the reliable one where if I need something to go dead straight in the woods, this would probably be my go-to. I could even throw this on a little bit of anhyzer and it'll turn but still come back. So this one's a pretty good disc. And then my newest addition to my bag. This is literally the newest disc in my bag, and I don't add discs in my bag ever. So this is my 2021 Tour Series Sidewinder. I'm super excited about this one, and it literally came out exactly the way I wanted it to. So I picked the swirly plastic because typically the swirly discs will be a little bit more stable. And as you've heard me talk about, all of my other Sidewinders have that flip to them, and I wanted something that the Sidewinder mold always has glide, and that's why I love it. They just glide super far. And I wanted this to be something where it had glide, but it was still gonna have a dependable finish without flipping so hard. So this is one of my heavier ones. This is 172. My other ones are like 167. So a little bit lighter, but this one's heavier. So naturally for me, that makes it a little more stable. And then the plastic is also stiffer than normal. So that also makes it more stable. So this one's a super reliable, it just glides forever and has that dependable fade to it. And I'm super excited about this one. It has crazy cool swirls in it too. All right, so then next I have a Star Roadrunner. This one I only throw ever so not often. When I'm in the woods and I get stuck somewhere, I like to pat and pen a lot. That's where you kind of stick your foot out and you have your back turned. It just helps you get out of the woods. When I throw those shots, the Star Roadrunner works better for me than a Sidewinder for some reason. I feel like a lot of it's honestly mental, but that's okay. This one just goes really straight and I can throw it on a little bit of hyzer. It's just gonna glide dead straight to where the Sidewinder might have a little more turn to it or might stable out depending on if I throw it on the wrong angle or not. So this one's just a really reliable patent pending disc, to be honest, and that works. And then getting into distance drivers, I have 3 Star Shrykes. So this one is my oldest. It's my 162, also the most lightest, Star Shryke. This one has beat in so much, and it's so flippy. It's like a long range flippy sidewinder for me at this point. Shrykes are supposed to have a little bit of fade at the end, but this one doesn't anymore. I might have to throw it on a pretty big hyzer in an open field with no wind. So it's honestly at this point just a super big distance driver, and I can only throw it very situationally, but it gets the huge S turn and I have to throw it really high and it'll come back maximum distance. This one is just the next step up in stability. This one's probably my go-to Shrike for the biggest distance shots. This one will flip up, but because it's heavier, this one's actually max weight, but it's broken in, so it has a flip to it. This one will flip up, but it'll just glide for a long time before it has that stable finish. Still can't really throw it into a headwind because then it will hold that turnover, and that's not really what I'm looking for in the flight. But in a tailwind or a no wind, this one is my go-to. And then I have my Kona Strike. I don't know when this disc came out. This one's a few years old, the stamp is. But shout out to my best friend Kona. She actually just won Waco last night, so super awesome for her. But for my max weight stable Shrykes, I always just love the Kona runs. I actually have a few of these specific stamps for the run because I like it so much. It's just a max weight glidey Shrike. It's way more stable than the other ones that I have, but I know that it's not going to turn over. It's just going to go super straight. It's like a broken in destroyer kind of. It has that stability at the end, but love this disc. And then to round it out, we have 3 Star Destroyers. You can see that this one's way more worn than the other one. So I have 2 168s in my bag, and then I have a max weight in my bag. So this one was the only 168 I had at one point, but you can see by the color, it's gotten super worn in. And this disc and the Kona Strike at this point, it doesn't have that much difference to it. I need to figure out which one I'm gonna keep and which one I'm gonna take out. This one I think is a little bit more stable than the Kona Strike, but it's the same thing. I throw it on a hyzer, it flips up and glides. Because it's lightweight and because it's old, it's just gonna go straight before it has that dependable fade to it. So kind of the same thing. But because this one was getting flippy, I put the new one in my bag. This one's been in my bag, I think, for about 6 months now. You can definitely tell it's newer, but because it's still the 168, it's lighter. The lighter ones just flip up and will ride straight, but still have that hard destroyer finish to them. So I really love this. This one's my go-to forehand disc for the same reason. It has that extra glide that I want, especially for forehand. I don't have that much power on it yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. So Star Destroyer. And then my last one, this is my max weight. I don't ever throw this, you know, routinely. It's just super, it's for utility shots really. So if I'm ever in the woods and I need like a longer gator shot, because it's so stable, I can just throw it up on a big hyzer, or vice versa. If I'm, you know, need a big backhand hyzer, I really just throw it for super, you know, beefy shots that I need in specific situations. Or if it's really windy and I know that these are going to flip over a little bit more, I'll just throw this and just keep throwing hyzers on the fairway. So that's it for the discs. And then the newest Innova excursion bag. This one's been super awesome. I used to use the adventure pack, and it didn't have that sturdy of a frame to it. So I'm super excited about the excursion pack. It has the durability, the frame, and it has some extra pockets that the other one didn't have. Okay, so then we'll get into my bag. That's fine, okay. So, well, it's cold, so this is a scarf thing, but that's not important. We have some snacks. And some gum. I always have to have gum. It keeps me focused when I'm playing, so Orbit Sweet Mint, that's the way to go. Please sponsor me. So then I also have organic coconut bars. So these are my Rickaroon snacks. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll know what I'm talking about. These are super good. They're super yummy. If you're not a coconut fan, you probably won't be into them. But if you are a coconut fan, these are really good. I've been sponsored by them for like 3 or 4 years now. They're super delicious. Pumpkin spice, unfortunately, is limited edition, but it's absolutely my favorite, and I keep them in my bag for my mid-round snacks. So these are awesome. And then I have just the mini in here. I have to have my goat towel that's stuck on my bag. You can see here, they're the greatest of all towels, literally. They have a nice carabiner hole on them, so you can just hook it onto your bag. The towel's two-sided, so it has like the nice soft side, the flat side, and then it has the rib side on the back. So you can tell I wiped the mud off with this side, and then you can kind of just cami it off with this side. They have a lot of cool different colors. They actually just came out with smaller hand towels. Those also have clips on them, so those are also super good. But yeah, I always have this on my bag. You never know when your stuff's gonna get wet. And I always have my water or coffee or whatever I wish to drink, and that's about it. So that wraps up the 2021 in the bag. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, share, subscribe, comment if you have any questions. Always love talking to you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.